with Pittsburgh Penguins prospect Brayden Yager. Brayden, first of all, thanks for joining us here. Why don't we go back to the end of June in Nashville? Certainly a big night for yourself, for your family, for those close to you. But won't you take us back and in your own words, just describe, what that evening was like for you and kind of what the reaction was when you heard the Pittsburgh Penguins call your name at 14th overall?
Yeah, it was obviously a pretty special couple days, and obviously there was nerves and everything kind of leading up to the draft, and I think once I got to the rink, I kind of settled in, and but just hung out with the family throughout the day, and then yeah, obviously once your name is called, it goes by so fast, and you kind of black out a little bit, and but to be called by the Pittsburgh Penguins was unbelievable. I couldn't ask to go to a better spot. So super pumped to get back there and start camp.
Black and gold looks good on you, man. I mean, a lot of people you hear the questions about who are the notable people or the people you remember that reached out to you. Do you have any stories like that with respect to anybody from the Penguins kind of reaching you out and welcoming you to the organization?
Yeah, I mean, well, the first one was, I mean, obviously Sidney Crosby phoned me, and I didn't really believe it at first. The guy handed me the phone and said, it's Sid, and then just listening to Sid was crazy, and he said some nice words and congratulations, and said that I'd maybe get the chance to meet him in person at development camp, which I did, which was pretty cool. So yeah, that's one that sticks out for sure. And then Chris Letang and other guys in the team also reached out through text and congratulated me, which was also really cool.
Was Sidney Crosby one of those players, like, players of your age? I mean, probably grew up watching him and probably idolizing him, but was he one of the guys that when you were a youngster that you kind of really looked up to? And I mean, just take me through how cool it was to be able to meet him.
Yeah, he was kind of always my the guy that I looked up to the most. I always wanted to model my game after him. Especially I think just the style of game he plays. He plays in all situations of the game, and a centerman, and takes big face offs, and he's a winner too. So I think that's pretty cool. And but yeah, getting to meet him in person was it was crazy. I remember just walking into the gym, and he was grinding on in the workout. It was crazy, and I went up to him and introduced myself, and chatted for 10 minutes or whatever, and then he got back to working out and went on the ice, and we kind of all just sat there and all watching him on the ice by himself. And but such a great person, and you see those top end players, and they don't have to take the time of day to say a couple words to a guy like me, but when they do, it definitely leaves a big impact on me.
Tell you what, the we all know about the rivalry between the Moose Jaw Warriors and the Swift Current Broncos, but did you and Owen Pickering, Pittsburgh first rounder from a year ago, maybe have to put your differences aside there for a few days when you were at development camp?
Yeah, we clicked pretty fast. I mean, Pix is he's such a likable guy. He's got there, and he kind of showed me the ropes, and I kind of followed him around for the couple days that we were there for development camp, and he was awesome. Just being somebody to kind of look up to, who's been there before, and but yeah, we were roommates, and it was awesome. He's a great kid, and obviously a great hockey player too. So having a guy like him to kind of go through it with is pretty special.
Braden, when you talk about a player's NHL draft year, I mean, I'm sure growing up, and we've spoken before just about just the emphasis that goes into that year and all the attention and just the build up and then the moment of being drafted. But now that you've had, a couple of months here to kind of reflect on what that year was like for you in Moose Jaw and then ultimately being selected by the Penguins. What are some of the things that stick out for you as far as memories that you'll take away, and maybe kind of maybe even life lessons that you've kind of learned in terms of helping yourself develop into not only just a young adult but a hockey player as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think just, reflecting, just with how much Moose Jaw's helped me. I mean, it's such a great place to play, and my teammates, coaches, couldn't thank them enough. And I've learned so much, especially, from the 20-year-olds, coming in at 15, and being able to kind of be a sponge as a young guy and kind of learn, what it takes to, be a good WHL player. And obviously with all the travel and stuff, you get pretty close. So definitely have learned a lot, leading up to obviously the draft, and hoping to, keep kind of being a sponge, and learning from, those, NHL players, and but continue to really have good relationships with the people in Moose Jaw, and looking forward to having a good run this year. So super thankful for the opportunities that I've had.
That was going to be my follow up. I mean, what's the excitement level like for you Warriors, and for the people that you've talked to around the Moose Jaw organization? Because I mean, you look on paper, there's a lot of talent on that roster, and certainly I would imagine on your guys' parts, maybe some expectations as well. I mean, what's the excitement level like as you get ready, and your teammates in Moose Jaw get ready for another season here?
Yeah, I'm definitely super excited to get back there. I mean, and see all the guys first of all, and then obviously, get to work with camp and everything, and get ready for the season. So but yeah, I mean, I think, we got a chance to do something, really special. I mean, we've had 2 years in a row where we've, had some, pretty big learning curves in the playoffs, and obviously running into Winnipeg, both times was, um, tough, but, we learned from it. And obviously we're a year older now, and, I think that, we really have a chance to take a step forward. And I think, kind of like you said, there's going to be more expectations for us as a team. And but I think that we're definitely ready for a big jump this year, and try to obviously win a championship. So super excited.
Last one for you. You mentioned being a sponge and kind of learning from those that have come before you, as you kind of now transition, into an NHL drafted prospect, and even at 18 in hockey years now, maybe even an older statesman on that Moose Jaw team. I mean, is that kind of leadership role, is that mentorship role now kind of paying it forward? Is that something you look forward to, and how do you think you'll perhaps adjust your approach, if at all, with respect to that?
Yeah, I think we've got a pretty good leadership group in Moose Jaw. I've been fortunate enough to wear a letter on my jersey, and I definitely don't take that lightly. I mean, I try to be as much of a leader as I can, whether it's being vocal or not saying a word, and just leading by example. So I think especially going into camp here, if there's young guys that maybe don't know around the rink of Moose Jaw, or how things are kind of ran there. I'm definitely not going to be shy to give them some advice, or just make them feel a little bit more comfortable. And then obviously throughout the year, I think with the team that we could have, I think that our leadership group's going to need to take another step forward as well, and make sure that we're ready to do something special there. So